and we hide this. Okay. So now we've got our pivot table, and we did this pivot table because we've got questions on analysis. It says, what is our best selling product? The pivot table, what we did was, I'm just going to move this out of the way for a bit. I'll click on this, right click, so that we have the field list. I hid it yesterday. So the pivot table gives you a holder and these table fields, pivot table fields. And the fields are exactly the columns that you have from your clean data. We named our data cells. So order ID, dates, product, price, all of these. That's what you have on this side, so that it's easy for you to pick between columns what you are comparing. Okay. The question said, what is our best selling product? That is, which one have we sold the most? And we decided that we should use quantity and product. Let's see the one with the most quantity. Okay, so that's why we clicked on product, it brought it to rows. So if I unclick that, and click it back, it brought it to rows, and we clicked on quantity as well. Quantity because it's a mathematical, it's a number, it's formatted as number, and it's number anyway. So anything number comes straight. Why is my thing not charging? Just give me a minute, please. Let me see what's happening. Right. So when you click on anything that's number, it automatically brings it to values, and then it can, and by default it will do a sum. Okay, but we said yesterday that we can do more than sum. If we click on this down arrow here, we've got all these options, and one of them is value field settings. So with value field settings, if what you want is not sum, you can count. You can find the average, the max, the mean, and so many mathematical functions there. Okay, and we can rename here. The name we gave this was total quantity. So let's put that back as total quantity. Okay, and we'll okay that. And I remember that we did some number formatting yesterday as well. Oh, come on. So let's format that. Value field setting. So you see, I went in, I right-clicked to get here, or you can use this down arrow as well to get in there. So let's format to just 2 decimal places. So we want number, 2 decimal places, and we want the 1000 separator, just so that our data looks better than what it's looking like at the moment, and that formats it better for us. And for the next question, we were asked from the analysis, what is our total revenue? And all we did was to click on just the revenue now. Revenue, and it summed it up for us. That's the total revenue. So that's question 2 answered. And the last question there is, what is revenue breakdown by payment method? So we want to look at revenue and break it down by payment method. Okay, so, and that's what we've done here. Okay, I'm on a call though. Sorry about that. So products by payment method. So those that are paid by cash, that's the total revenue for it. those that paid by credit card, that's how much we got. And this is how much we got for. Is that answer correct? It says, what is the revenue? Yeah, revenue breakdown by payment method. Okay, so this should not be, I shouldn't have labeled this as products. That's a misunderstanding there. It should be a payment method, not product. So payment method. Okay. So that solves that. We can expand that a little bit. And you can arrange this the way you deem fit, you know. So if, and we talked about slicers, the use of slicers, and slicers are just like filters that help you to, look deeper into your results. Okay, so let's say this is just general results now. But I want to see what this result will give me if I was to look into France, what happened in France. So clicking on that, this manager definitely is from France, and obviously the city is that one. That's why those were highlighted like that. So immediately we clicked France, we had a change in our result. So this is the result we are getting. The grand total that we got from France is 12,000 plus. And these are the only two payment methods that we got there. And these are the revenues by each of the payment methods. We can see the total revenue there is the same as this. If they were not the same, then there's something wrong that we need to look into. And if we look into Germany, same goes for that. That's the result. Same goes for Portugal, Spain, and the United Kingdom, you know. So slicers are quite exciting to use. Today, the plan is to look more into slicers, how we can set them. There's different settings on slicers. So if I click on this, any one of them actually, let me unfilter. So, okay. So immediately I clicked on that. The slicer up here is brought up. So we can go on that slicer and look at the different settings, you know, on there. Okay, so the first one here says slicer setting. I clicked on the slicer settings and I've got this. It's giving us the name of it, which is the same as the header. If I don't want the header displayed, maybe because I see that is very obvious already. People will see that, they can see that that's country or region anyway. So I can unclick that, but I don't want it displayed, you know. Then item sorting. Do I want it sorted from A to Z or from Z to A? Or have I got my own custom list that I want to use? Hide items with no data. So anytime I'm showing, I'm on a particular filter, if there's no data for the other ones, hide it. So that would hide it. So let's hide and see what happens with this slicer. So I'm going to OK that. First, the header disappeared, and that makes it look better because everyone can see France, Germany, Portugal, it's all countries. Okay. Now, if I click on just France, okay. Okay, what I expected it to do was to just show me only France and take away Germany, Portugal, Spain, and United Kingdom, but I might be wrong, okay? But there's a kind of a difference anyway that happened with how this and these are highlighting each other compared to when, oh, okay, didn't keep it. Hide item with no data, okay, that, okay. So now, can we notice any difference?
Yeah, it will only remove the blank in case where we have blank in the data set connected to the slicer. Like just if you look at it, there are no blank here now. So if the peradventure there is any blank in our column. On checking that, we'll remove the blank. And I think this is looking good rather than having, if you look
Those,
at the manager and the city, there
yeah,
is a blank. Yeah, so that I
yeah,
think that's how that work.
that perfect. Thank you very much for that explanation. Yes. So let's do the same for this two. Would control pick two together? I think it would. And then we can decide to, okay, I won't remove the header for managers, just so we know who it is we are talking about. Okay. So I'll okay that. And I will just come and remove the header for city, only because I believe you don't have to do that. That city is also obvious, and that looks a lot better. Other things we can do is the color, in presenting your report, your color combination is very important. You don't want to have color riots, and you want to have something that's soft to the eyes, something that your stakeholders would be able to actually digest and not run away from. Okay, so and that's where you pick different designs for whatever you want. So you say, I want this to be another color. I can change it there or there. I love the green, so I always just depends, just do that, okay? And it doesn't have to be any of these colors. There's loads of them actually, that you can choose from. I thought it was more than this. I thought I saw more than this before, but yes, that is that. And if I want to have more than one column, say I want two, okay, because I highlighted this. So if I want this to be shorter, I can do that. If I want three, I can equally do that. It depends on how you want to arrange, your work, okay? So that is a height, weights, and different things there that we can play around with, there. Okay, so I'll leave that at that. I believe there's more that we can do on this analysis. Going back to our sales.
Sorry, ma'am. Just
Yeah,
before you leave the slicer,
right.
would you mind, creating a new pivot table and see how we can connect this existing slicer to the new pivot table we've created?
Okay, so we come back this way. And
before you go on to here, why did you remove the header? I think the header and the city and the other one, it would be good to have it. Or what do you think?
yeah, no, it's a matter of preference.
Okay.
So yeah, you can put it. In my own opinion, it's very obvious what France and what Berlin and all of that is. That's why I removed it. You don't have to remove it, So we go back to sales now. So we are saying, let's make a new pivot table, isn't it? So we come here. It's picked it. So should we put it on a new worksheet?
Please do that. Do that again, please.
Okay. So new worksheet. All right. So we've got this. What should we analyze here?
Maybe we can check the times of the date, the month, and the revenue by that period.
Okay. So check dates. Like that is what you mean, sir?
Yep.
Okay. By revenue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is that all, or should I put more things?
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I see that our data has gone into hierarchy there. We've got month, date, days, date. Okay. Sometimes personally I prefer to remove the hierarchy, but again, it depends on what your stakeholders want. we did Control Z of that, what will happen? I'll just want the date. So if I take out months, let's see how that works. And I take out the days and I just leave dates. Okay. Should we leave it like this or bring back our month and what should we do?
I think we can just use only the months and remove the other date, just the month, which is November, December, I think, in this data set.
Okay. Okay, so I will click. So just the month.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so what we had before. Okay, so now we've got November, this was what we had, and December, this was what we had. We can do that, our number formatting again, just to make it look a little better. Yeah. Okay, so here we have it. So did you say let's put another slicer?
No, we copy one of the slicer and see how we can connect it back to this pivot table. Yes.
Right. Okay. So let's copy that. And this one. So I'm placing, it's just Control C and Control V. Yeah. So at the moment, it's not seeing this one. But if we go back to our first one, it's highlighting that because we made that connection before, if we remember. So until we decide to, okay, I've clicked on it. So we come to slicer. So until we report connection and connect this to this table, it doesn't see it at all. So we can see that the first three tables that we did before are ticked. But this one here, which is naming as pivot table 1 as well on sheet 2. So that makes sense. So if we do that now, we can easily now see that there's an interaction happening, with this. So in November, France recorded 52,000, and in December, same France recorded 27,800. Then they start to ask questions. What happened between November and December that we went that low? It could be many reasons. Is it whether our products, are they seasonal? If so, what can we do to perform better in the coming winter seasons or December seasons, December period rather, So same for Germany, Portugal, Spain, and United Kingdom. So that's how we connect or disconnect. If we don't want this connection to happen anymore, we just simply come back and unclick, unclick whatever it is we don't want it to interact with anymore. Because sometimes it might be that you don't want certain slicers to filter certain tables, So that's that about that. It would be nice for us to have some KPIs, in. So if let me copy this. Let me copy this. Place it here. Such that, okay, I'll take the month out, and if we have revenue, we have what are the things on the KPIs normally? What are the key performance indicators, of so revenue in the right order now. I'm trying to see total cost, profit. Most of the time those are the measures that are used to determine how a company has performed, at that point in time. So it's now our job to make this look better. In what way do you want to present it? Okay. Do I want this here? Okay, so what I did, if this is the way we want this presented in this table like this, I just dragged, so this was up here, so I just dragged from column, that is, I don't want it in this kind of layout, and I dragged it down to rows so that it is compact like this. Again, it's a matter of preference and how your dashboard that you are building is looking like at the end of the day. Okay, so we can always do with some formatting here. We know how to format already. We can format this to look better. So we see that the total cost, okay, let's see what's happening here. Because let me format so that we can reason this together and see that and validate that the values we are having really should be, what we have is what we should be having. Okay. So we've got that, let's okay that. And okay this. Okay. So this is saying, okay, it's only, why is it not doing it for every one of them at the same time? It should. Okay, it's only saying one at a time. I don't know why. But if there were like 100 of them, it's not a good use of time to come in and be doing one by one. So there must be something I didn't do right around there. But we've only got 3 to deal with, so no problem at this time. Okay, now we can see that's making better sense. The figures are making better sense. Sometimes some people prefer to, I'll show you in a minute.
What if you highlight them all together and do it?
Yeah, that's what I did. I highlighted them together, but it's picking just the first part. And I believe I've done it together before and it worked. So I don't know what changed this time around, but hey.
Ma'am, you can even use it from under the toolbar there. Instead of going, you can just change it by clicking on either the number formatting. Yeah, just those 3 buttons there. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. You're correct. Yeah. So I could have easily just done this and choosing what I want from here. If we wanted to display that, we can easily do that from there. Thanks for that reminder. Okay, here we are. So we are saying that the total money we got from the sales is this. And this was the cost of, getting the products, everything called cost together. This was it. Such that this then is our profit. Okay. And then we can then start to calculate profit margin,
Is that just for United Kingdom or the overall total?
Okay, because that's a good citing, because see, I've already picked United Kingdom here. So what we have now, what we are looking at is actually just United Kingdom. Okay, so what happened? I've removed I've removed what helps me to unfilter. When I did okay, let me see if there's a way around this. I don't want to. Okay, I'll have to go back into the settings and do this and see if that comes back. Display header, those are the only things I changed. Okay, so when I remove the headers, this disappeared with it. And normally this is what I use to unfilter. I don't know if there's any other way to unfilter in case I really don't want this country region to show. Because now I'm being forced to show it.
Yeah, you can do that. If you click, let's say, for example, can you click on France now?
Yeah.
So click back on the France. Everything should go back.
Yeah.
Why is it not working?
Exactly.
Something is not right then. Yeah, it should work automatically. By the time you click on that particular slicer, it should go back to the original way.
Exactly. If you double click this, it should, but it's not doing that. I don't know why, but something is not right. It could be Excel playing up or something. You just never know sometimes. Excel does not excel sometimes. It does as it wants, but it's good for us to know that it's possible to click and then double click to remove it normally. But if not, well, then there's no harm in bringing this back to use as the unfiltering. Let's see what is inside here. Okay, this is where I choose to multi-select or multi-select. And it's even giving us the shortcut of it. It says select Alt-S. So if I click Alt-S here, I should be able to pick more than one at a time. In reality, okay. I've had to press down my control to be able to do this, but okay, now it works without the control. Okay, let's do that again. So I've clicked that. We can see that it's no longer yellow. So I pick France, I pick Germany. So I can't click more than one at a time without clicking here. So when I click here, it allows me to compare to Spain and United Kingdom. That's the result for us, or even more, So I think is there any more thing to learn on that slicer? I'm not too sure. I don't think there is. So the connection, how to do it, how to format it to what you want, and how to do the settings here. I think those are the only things about slicers. And we can, I wish there was something like a card. There should be a way to do it where we can put a proper KPI. We've got our revenue in a card. We've got our total costs in a card, profits, and then we can calculate our profit margin and just showcase that this is our key performance indicators, for this period, for this company. Apart from that, let's have a look at this, at our sales and see. We can also do something around, I think I saw something around shipping. Is this the data set where we've got something around shipping? No. Okay, no, it's not. If we don't want, there's something we haven't talked about. Apart from inserting slicers, there is also under pivot, remember we got our slicers under, so I click on the pivot table. Under pivot table analyze, there's pivot table analyze, and there is design. Design is where you do your different designs. But the pivot table analyze is where we can insert slicers, which we have done, but we haven't done that timeline. So we can also insert timeline, and timeline is always about the date, okay? So, and it's just that date that we've got anyway. So we click on it. Let's see how that works, okay? So we've got this slicer here. We've got this timeline here, and we can see it's picked from January to December. Okay, so if we go and look in our data set, Where is it picking January to December from? That is strange. I was expecting it to just pick November, all these dates here, you know. That's what I expected to pick, but it's gone on to pick the whole year. So that I would not know. But if we look through the months, January, let's see. Okay. So I click January, nothing on here, okay, to show, which is true. There isn't any revenue or products or whatever for January. But if we go on to November, you know, so I can see that this timeline is only relating with this table. It's not relating at all with this table. I've not tried to. You said? Someone said something. Okay, we can continue within the next few minutes remaining. So if we click on December, we can see the December sales. Was there anything in October? Not at all. So this got filtered with that, maybe because I picked it when I was going to make the timeline. Did I pick it? I don't think so. Okay, so under timeline, okay, there is connection as well. So I did timeline there, clicked on it, and we can see there's different things just like the slicer that we can. So let's report connection. So it's not connected, it's not seeing most of the tables. It's only seeing this table. That's why that's the only one changing. Okay, so if we click all of them, then we can, you know, see the interaction better. Okay, if we come here now on pivot table, you see it's all disappeared as well because we've you know done reported a connection, that there's a connection between them. Now that we come to November, let's come back to this pivot table. So we see what happened in November here for all countries and all of these filters. Okay, and December we can see that's we had that much, and you know the same is reported here. You see total revenue there is, it does tally with what we have here. So that's how we validate that what we are doing is right as we walk along. I'm still, you know, thinking in my head to see how much, what more we can do with this particular data. If not, we should move on to a data set where we can look at things like entity relationship diagram, where we have more than one table. You know, we have only analyzed just this one table. Okay, so let's look at a whole set where we've got, like the Northwind is a good example, where you've got customers data, you've got employees data, orders, you've got shippers, you've got products, you've got suppliers, and we see how we can relate all these in Excel, not Power BI anymore, but in Excel, you know, and also to look at how we can get data into Excel from different sources. So we can start looking at stuff like that from tomorrow. Under data, just like Power BI, you can also get data from different sources into Excel as well now. So do we have any questions?
Yes, I do have one. So
Yes.
let's assume I have more data and I have added it to this table and I want to update my pivot table. How do I do that? Or maybe I want to exclude some of the data set from here and I want to refresh my pivot table. How do I do that now?
You have said it already, sir. Okay, so let's say more data came in for January. We've got up to almost the end of December. So we've got more data added onto this table for January, you know, and the table is picking it well here. Okay, what we'll do there is go to our pivot table and refresh. I just click on refresh all. You know, when you refresh your pivot table, it picks any new data, either column or rows that's added, you know, and it brings it in, and you have your data updated.
Can we just demonstrate that by adding a data below the table? Just one line or two lines.
Yes, we can.
10714.
Okay. So let's copy. Can we not copy and paste? No.
We can copy. Well, let's just copy about 4 or 5 rows so that the total revenue can
It can make
yeah.
a lot of difference,
Yeah.
Abby.
Yeah.
Okay, so Control C that, then come and paste here, Control V that. I know, we know that it's
No, because it's filtered, so it's not going to.
but we are going to change this. So we now have 14 here. So it won't be picking it as so we'll have 1 4
Some
here.
places are missing. Some numbers 260, 261 is missing from the. If you look at the numbers on the side.
Remember that we did. Oh, on the other. Okay, we'll do something about it. Let's.
Or else it's not going to work.
Let's see. We will see.
Because there are gaps in
10715. Okay, we go down 10716, 10716. We go down 10718, 10718. We go down
10717.
17. Okay, I missed 7. All right.
7 before 8. Okay.
That would have to do. Okay, so at least that changed. What else was not picked? Something wasn't picked right here. So what happened here? So we got, oh, I see. It moved. Did I not copy it right? So we got date, but we've got
because there's gap. If you look at the side, 259, you're now jumping to 263. So it's going to mess up the
Excel worksheet.
Yeah, there shouldn't be gap in
okay.
the table.
Also, remember that I hid something here. That's why I hid a column there, and that makes things. That's why we have. I hid something here, which I forgot. I should have unhide it first. And
remove it from the table entirely. Just drag it down the table. You can hide it and drag it outside completely. Let it be separate from the table.
Okay.
Let there be gaps because the table will pick anything around it.
Okay.
It will always pick anything around it. Yeah.
Okay. There's something, bro. No, bro. Okay. If we move this way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we can then hide this back. Why am I even keeping something that doesn't work? So let's hide this back. Okay. So this table seems fine now. It's been picked right. Let's look at the last. Okay, so we need to drag this so that it's included in the table. Okay, what's the problem here? Let me ignore the error. Okay,
I'm not sure it will work because there's a gap between 259 and 263. I don't know.
No, I get what you mean. Those errors, those ones that I hid them actually. But let's see what happens.
To drag them out.
It's all part of the learning process for us, isn't it? So we've got, we had 4 more. Let's see if only we'll remember what we had here. Before I refresh, let's see. So have we got any filters on? Okay, let's remove filters. So we know our total revenue. Let's have this, at least these figures, 801,182.52 pounds. Yeah. Let's have them in our heads and see if we now refresh. So I'm going to refresh this. Did you see that changed? So that extra has been added on. The four lines that we did has been added on. Did we all notice that?
Yeah, it changed from
Yes.
801, 184, 52 to
Yeah.
82.
It
Yeah.
captured the additional
Yeah,
rows.
exactly. So if you have done like 10 days work, for all these data jobs, it's always the first time of building all these things up that you do the real, heavy lifting, But the tools have been so well done now that any additional data coming in, you just need a click of a button to refresh, and it will just carry out, however many steps you had done before, as long as your data is well formatted and in line with the rest that were there before, you'll be fine. I'm glad we got to practice that. So on this note, I'll say let's go and rest if there is no question. Any question at all?
So what of that space within those numbers? Did he, there was a gap between 259 and
I don't really think that which gap is it? I'm trying to look for the one you are talking about under sales, actually. Okay. Yes.
look at the number 259, then there's 263 afterwards.
I don't think it matters. If it did, we won't even be able to refresh it. We'll throw up an error straight away.
An error, okay.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter at all. What matters is it's already picked that we hid those, It's just like when I hid the other one, So as long as you have hidden something, it knows you don't want it to be part of anything just yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Auntie, before we go, so what's the essence of this green that is showing beside the ones that we copied? The small greens, yeah.
These green things there.
Yeah.
No, it's just formatting error. It's most of the time it's seeing something there as an error, but in our own case we don't have an error. Okay, these are numbers, but we have told it to see this as text, So because that's the condition we gave it for the first part, but this last part I've not said see this part as text either as well. So we can just come here and say ignore it. It's just warning us that this should be number, but it's not being seen as number. So but I'm glad you pointed that out. But yeah, that's what that is. Even all these ones here, because we didn't come here to completely, do everything that we did before. So it's picking. And they shouldn't really be picking it for these ones, to be honest. Yeah, it's seeing it as number. So if there is no error in what I've done, I'll just tell you to ignore. And that's why it worked. If it didn't work, if it was actually error, it won't work. We won't see that addition that we saw.
Okay.
Any more questions? Have we been practicing this? Has anyone gotten to this point or gotten to the point we got to yesterday at all?
No, I've not. I have to start watching all this thing from start. And this weekend, I'm doing that. So
Perfect.
after the Power BI.
Yeah, perfect. Let's get it up to scratch. I should have stopped recording. I forgot.